Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Senate Appropriators oppose privatizing ATC. CloudAhoy 5.0 now available. Drone racing course floated for North Hempstead. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's March 3rd, and this is Airborne Unlimited. A bipartisan letter from Senate Appropriations Committee leaders opposing plans for creating a privatized air traffic control system has been sent to the leadership of the Senate Commerce Committee. The February 28th letter was sent as Congress continues debate over the reauthorization of funding and programs for the FAA. The public would not be well served by exempting any part of the FAA from annual congressional oversight, the letter states. The annual appropriations process provides the oversight of agency resources necessary to ensure accountability for program performance and a sustained focus on aviation safety, the letter continues. NBAA notes that the proposal pushed by a number of big airlines would remove congressional oversight from the nation's aviation system and replace it with a privatized system governed by an airline-centric board of directors and funded through new user fees. NBAA President and CEO Ed Boland said, quote, "We thank the Appropriations Committee leaders for sending this letter, which provides an important reminder about the need for congressional oversight of aviation system decision-making. America's system of airports and airspace serves the public interest, including the people, businesses, and communities that rely on general aviation. Congressional oversight ensures that the entire public has access to aviation." CloudAhoy has released version 5.0 of its app. This is a major release of the flight debriefing product that includes many new features and enhancements, including significant enhancements to the flight analyzer. Chuck Shavit, the founder and CEO of CloudAhoy, said, quote, "Technology is such a critically important component of flying nowadays. We use technology in flight planning and in the cockpit. It is a natural extension to use technology for post-flight debrief and benefit from its tremendous power available in our digital age." The new release makes it extremely easy to find approach segments, which are automatically identified by the analyzer. CloudAhoy 5.0 also includes worldwide aviation charts by SkyVector for VFR and IFR. This is big news to international users who can now debrief with aviation charts. U.S. pilots will notice an increase in display speed of the charts. SkyVector charts are updated every 28 days. The flights list has been redesigned with a new look and has new features for managing a large number of flights. There's a new search feature for all flights based on name, airport, etc. The advanced analysis section displays a list of all the maneuvers flown in that flight, automatically generated by the analyzer. Each flight's pilot names can be assigned roles such as student, CFI, safety pilot, etc. After the break, North Hempstead is readying for drone racing.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, the new AMA drone report, our website or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. The North Hempstead Town Supervisor in New York's Long Island has been gathering ideas from the public for features to be added to the town's largest park, and a drone racing course is one of the options currently under consideration. Town Supervisor Judi Bosworth has spent several weeks getting public input for how to improve North Hempstead Beach Park. She said that her goal is to remake the park into a beautiful recreational destination. The park encompasses nearly 300 acres. Until recently, it was co-owned by the town and Nassau County. The county ceded its share of the park to the town in October 2010. The town has hired a Manhattan-based architectural firm to develop a master plan for the park, and Bosworth said that the plan is in preliminary brainstorming stages. The drone racing course was only one of several suggestions offered by the public to Bosworth. It's Friday, and that means it's time for A&N CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly barnstorming commentary. Pretty much the entire A&N crew is packing gear bags and getting ready for some of the busiest weeks of our year. First at HAI and then heading to New Orleans for our live coverage of the 2017 AEA Convention and Trade Show, starting Monday, March 13th. Here's this week's barnstorming.
Thanks, Laura, and hi, folks. Well, we've got an interesting couple of weeks ahead of us. This is that time of year when all of a sudden we go from the winter doldrums and the slow period into full-on throttle where, to make a long story short, it just seems like there's something every other day. We just finished up a number of events. We've got Women in Aviation just down the road from us today, tomorrow, and the next. And then, of course, HAI, the Heli Expo, next week. And following that, AEA, a couple of weeks later, Sun and Fun. And a couple of weeks later after that, our first major run at Exponential, the AUVSI trade show. By now, you'll be hearing about our next greatest partnership. We have started a new program with AUVSI called Airborne Unmanned, where AMA Drone Report was dedicated to the hobby and recreational drone community. Airborne Unmanned is dedicated to commercial interest, all things unmanned, and not just in aviation. Kind of an interesting break for us, and we're having a lot of fun learning the ropes. At the same time, it's a real interesting schedule for the next couple of weeks where HAI, of course, will have a lot of helicopter news. And then we've got to make a quick run to New Orleans where for 3 days we provide what we've done for almost a decade now, which is live, extremely detailed coverage of all things avionics. Monday morning on the 13th at 08:30 Central Time, we'll start with the new product introductions from AEA, several hours of, think about 30 applicants at this point currently on the list. We'll detail in 3 to 4 minute segments what's new, what's cool, what's great, what's interesting. And then on top of that, we follow up the next day at 12 noon Central Time with 3 to 4 hours of insightful interviews in 15 to 20 minute segments where we take a look at all the information that was imparted in just a few minutes and give these folks an opportunity to be far more explanatory, far more detailed, and have some fun with how exciting this industry can be. And let's face it, most of the real progress in the last couple of years in general aviation has been made in the panel. So don't miss this. It's everything from, the teeniest little widgets that help avionics people build better gear and do better installs to new panels, new GPS, new communications, new means by which we communicate, messaging and so forth. And there's a lot to it. And then finally, on Wednesday, we start at 1 o'clock Central Time. We'll be following up with AEA News, Avionics News, our scholarship program, and the inner workings of what we've seen at the trade show this year. It's exciting stuff. It's a lot of fun. You can see it all at www.airborne-live.net. We've got a new portal to promote all of this information. And then on top of it, in bits and pieces, keep an eye out on social media. You'll see us do some really interesting mobile live work in and amongst that programming before, after, and even in between. So make sure that your calendars are set to look at our HAI coverage next week. And following that, March 13th, 14th, and 15th, live coverage from AEA in New Orleans, Louisiana, from March 13th through 16th, but the live coverage is 13, 14, and 15. We'll see you there. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne, and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell. Boy, we could sure use a break.
After these messages, Atlas Air builds a 767 fleet.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
The dream is real, a truly affordable personal jet aircraft. The Subsonics Personal Jet Kit is priced at only $42,000. Kit plus engine is still under $100K. Add instruments, upholstery, and paint and you're flying. It's time to put your money where your bucket list is. Learn more at sonicsaircraft.com.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The fleet of 20 Boeing 767-300s to be leased to Amazon for its Prime Air service has been acquired by Atlas Air. According to Atlas Air CEO Bill Flynn, the company has also secured slots for the conversion of all the aircraft to freighter configuration. International Helicopter Pilot Organization Twirly will again hold their annual membership meeting in conjunction with Heli Expo in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday, March 7th, beginning at 5 p.m. at the Hilton Anito Hotel, Wedgwood Room. Space Center Houston's new Mission Mars exhibit showcases an immersive experience about the Red Planet and offers an opportunity to peer inside an Orion spacecraft research model, stand close to a giant model rocket, and walk on a virtual Mars environment. Space Center Houston is holding a Jubilee celebration all year to honor its 25th anniversary on October 16, 2017. Southeast Aerospace has received the FAA's Gold Award of Excellence. The Aviation Maintenance Technicians Awards program was developed by the FAA to encourage technicians and employers to receive or promote initial and recurring maintenance training. A measure passed by the Virginia legislature will exempt aircraft parts and maintenance from sales and use tax. The bill HB 1738 was recently passed by the state Senate, following its earlier passage by the House with overwhelming support. The legislation now goes to Governor Terry McAuliffe for his signature. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. A dispute over a multi-million-dollar contract for the operation of private aircraft terminals at John Wayne Airport in Southern California has resulted in allegations of price fixing, improper bidding, and other improprieties. The Orange County Board of Supervisors was set to select 2 operators for the contract, one old and one new. But insiders familiar with the dispute say that a longtime contractor, Signature Flight Services based in Orlando, Florida, could be the big loser in the process. Signature was the top-ranked bidder in the recent bidding process, which has been characterized as being bungled. But Signature is already challenging its expected loss of the contract. The company alleges that the county violated federal and local laws in its bidding process, and has filed complaints with the FAA and the DOT. The company has also accused county supervisors of being predisposed to award the contract to California-based ACI Jet. That company was ranked second to last in the bidding matrix. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Have a great weekend and see you Monday.